everyone, time for SexxxPerTease. Brandon here, and the question is, how do you know when you're in love? It's really hard to tell, but only you can really know when you're in love. You should never compare your feelings or relationships to other people, which is why, I hate when my friends are like, oh, one day you'll have a boyfriend, or blah, 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 you'll know when you're in love, or when I said, I thought I was in love with someone, they're like, no. And I'm just like, you can't tell me when the fuck I'm in love. You aren't living my life, you don't have my experience, my life is not your life, your love is not my love. So other people cannot tell you when you're in love, only you can know that for yourself. And I do think personally I have been in love before. I have exchanged I love yous that I think were meaningful with one guy. And even though our relationship wasn't traditional, perfect, consistent, typical, I've never had that boyfriend I see every day. I've never had an official boyfriend. I've never had the what everyone else thinks is a standard relationship, and it's never gotten to that whole what I imagine my first real relationship to be and what I want my first boyfriend to be. But just, you don't need a title for it to be love or official. Sometimes you just can't be with that person in the sense that you thought you wanted to be with them, and nothing is a fairy tale or a TV show. That's not real life. Real life is complicated and messy and not traditional and not able to be easily explained. And love is complicated and complex, and it's different for every single person. Everyone has a different life experience, lovers, and you can't compare a relationship or feelings to someone else because you don't have the same background or backstory and you haven't lived through the same thing. So what you need from someone for a relationship is completely different when someone else needs for a relationship. Some people are you have to be in love when you see your partner every day and you talk every single day and you're consistent and you're together, and not everyone has that, not everyone needs that. I guess that's what you're supposed to think, that this is what love is. Your boyfriend and you eventually get married, fall in love, pop out kids, but not everyone wants the same thing. Not everyone wants monogamy, not everyone wants to be involved in your partner's family or with their friends. Not everyone wants or needs that or is going to ever get that, but that doesn't mean you're not in love because you aren't living in a relationship that's exactly what you see on TV, that's typical, and what all your friends have or what you think you want or what your friends have. Don't compare it to your friends. I feel you're in love when someone just makes you feel a way. I think it was in love because we did exchange I love yous, and when he did say it, I knew that I felt it. I know he's the most significant relationship I've had in my life for the past couple of years, and I just think, it's love when someone can make you feel a way that you've never felt before. They just bring so much joy and happiness, and they're with you, and whenever you're together you just feel a way that it's euphoria. It's a feeling that's hard to describe. It's ecstasy. It's not even just about the sex. It's just seeing them or talking to them. It just brightens you up, and you are in each other's lives. I don't think you can be in love with someone who you've never, actually interacted with. You do have to have some type of relationship, whether, I think you can maybe be in love even with someone that you've met online. I don't like to say, that's a real relationship, but then again, I'm not the authority on what your relationship is. Everyone's relationships are different, and I do think you can have a meaningful relationship with someone that you've met online, as long as it's consistent and you have at least talked, and you can Skype and have a relationship pretty much. It's just not the traditional sense. But then again, no one else has an authority to dictate what your relationship is or what it means to you. Only you know that. And I have felt love before because I knew that he said it too and I meant it. I hope he meant it too since he said it first. But love is just complicated and messy and hard to know when you feel it, but as long as there's someone else that that deep down they do care about you, they bring you joy that no other person could ever give you, even though I do think you can be in love with multiple people, so multiple people can give you a feeling, and I don't know, it's just hard to determine what is love and what isn't love. Everyone does it and expresses it in their own different ways, so you can't really just label it as one way or one not. Just know that when you think that you're in love and the other person loves and actually gives a fuck about you too, that is when you're in love. I hope that helped answer your question, and please submit more to SexxxPerTease.wordpress.com.